Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. Biggest game of the week, Cleveland Browns at the New York Jets. You think I'm joking?
Yeah.
We've got NFL draft implications on the line here. The future of the NFL hangs in the balance, potentially. Browns Jets, Sunday at 1, Cleveland favored by 2.5. with an over-under of just 37.5. We're into November football, low over-unders. You know, it's good times.
Yeah, I mean, November football, low over-unders.
Bad offenses.
1-7 against 2-6. Two teams that are currently dead on the board over there, or at least one that was declared dead, and the other one is dead, and we just didn't get to it yet.
Cleveland Browns pulling one of the very few levers that you could pull in the season to try to make things better. Tommy Rees is now taking over the play calling.
Stefanski giving it up again.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, which again is not a great sign. The Jets, of course, having started their rebuild. It's not a rebuild. Definitely not a rebuild. Don't say that. Why would
it's not a tear down?
We're not tearing it down.
It's not a tear down.
We're not tearing it down. We only traded two guys. What are you talking about?
If you're a Jets fan, had a fun discussion yesterday for quite a while about the Jets, their plan, their multiple first and second rounders over the next couple of years, what that could look like. So go check that out.
This is one of those games, you see this pop up every so often as a joke. You know, this game should be flexed to 4 a.m. on Fubo TV or whatever. Like, this is the game.
I saw one that said like 8:30 a.m. on Cartoon Network.
Right,
like that,
same thing. Like, it's all variations of a theme.
And we're talking about this being for the NFL draft and everything. There are many teams with 1 and 2 losses right now. There's a lot of movement still at the top of the draft. New Orleans and Tennessee both 1 and 8. Jets are 1 and 7, would have the third pick if the draft was today. Dolphins 2 and 7, Giants 2 and 7, Cleveland and the Raiders are 2 and 6. So still a lot of movement to be had for all those teams at the top of the draft. But if we're talking about this year's draft and what things could look like, Jets with their multiple first-round picks, Cleveland also has multiple first-round picks. So it's two teams not only maneuvering for draft position, but they also have maneuverability because they, especially the Jets, because of all of the first-round picks that they have, whether it's for this year or next year.
And this is important. Yeah, those are important. Like, people, we made the point that, you're positioning yourself for the draft. And somebody was like, they're already positioned to get their quarterback based off where their pick is currently. Like, yeah, but that's only a game away from changing, right? Like, and if you think that a given draft is one quarterback strong or whatever, or it turns out that you think it's one quarterback strong when you get to that, when we get that kind of information, the ability to have the picks to then go get that guy as opposed to being stuck further down and need something else is important. Like, the maneuverability that those extra draft picks brings is vitally important. Now, it doesn't mean that, the team ahead of you will take that draft haul. You can't just command that they make the trade if they're adamant that they won't move off that guy. But I do think it's important to have that extra layer of flexibility.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a football game. It's this Sunday. I'll still watch it. It'll be fun. There's some matchups to watch. Sunday. Myles Garrett and Olu Fashanu. Myles Garrett against everybody every week. Cleveland's defense. My whole thing is there's offense and defense for both sides. Only Cleveland's defense looks good.
Right.
And I think that ends up, that's why they're favored, and that, I think, ends up being the difference in the game. They play a lot of man coverage. You create any sort of indecisiveness from Justin Fields. As long as you don't lose gap discipline, I think they have a chance to get him to the ground a bunch and really slow down this Jets offense. And then, the Jets defense is down some good players.
That's what's going to be interesting. I'm curious if this can be a good Dylan Gabriel game. Now that the Jets shipped off an impact defensive lineman, they shipped off a really good cover guy. Brandon Stevens is like their number one corner now. Is this what allows Dylan Gabriel to actually look good for, is it harsh to say the first time in the regular season, to maybe have a career game, let's say, the best game we've seen from Dylan Gabriel? Like, can he actually show something that makes people go, maybe Dylan Gabriel can be a guy? Because at the moment, everyone's saying Dylan Gabriel he isn't an NFL quarterback, period.
He hasn't shown a lot.
Right.
It's been as I've said before, for a guy that I think has a decent arm, I don't think it's a plus NFL arm, but he's got a pretty good arm. He's playing like a guy that has a, less than average NFL arm, dinking and
Right.
dunking.
But
just
it's not a
throwing the
good
ball over the
situation.
middle.
I mean,
it's not at all.
This is the same situation that made Joe Flacco look like an abysmal quarterback, and then he goes down the road to Cincinnati, and he's putting up 1,000,000 yards and throwing touchdowns left, right, and center, and not putting the ball in harm's way because he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Now, maybe there's also some weird Joe Flacco black magic involved in that. Like, I'm not sure it's quite as simple as A-B situation, but it's certainly a factor. I mean, this is not a good spot for a quarterback to be playing in, but even with that, adjustment, I don't think Dylan Gabriel is playing well.
And I don't know how much. Look, we both liked Shedeur Sanders over Dylan Gabriel coming out. We both liked Dylan Gabriel as QB4.
It's too soon.
So they were close. I'd like to at least see what Shedeur has at some point this season, even if the situation is bad. You think it's December for him?
Yeah. Telling you, this is by the numbers. This is how the season was going to go. We were going to get a month of Flacco, then we were going to get Dylan Gabriel, and then we're going to get a month of Shedeur to wrap the season up.
December to remember. Shedeur event.
He rolls in there with a big bow in his car.
Toyota-thon Shedeur.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. We got no more use for this game. Who we taking here? Cleveland by 2.5.
Am I going with the Browns to cover?
I am.
Yes, I am.
We're all taking the Browns. Me, you, and Harry.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.